The Mello TV Evening News at 8 is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Coronavirus is in Jamaica, and I know you feel scared and worried. But you can't let COVID-19 divide us. Coronavirus infects all kinds of people. It doesn't discriminate. So why should you? When someone coughs or sneezes or shows signs of the virus, tell them to call 888-1-LOVE immediately. And remember, stay 3 feet away, but don't attack or disrespect them, because we're all in this thing together. Come on, Jamaica, cut the hate and don't discriminate. Let us stand together and fight COVID-19 as one family, one nation.
Tonight, join host Nicole Hales and political analyst Paul Bourne as they discuss the highs and lows of the first national debate on Decision 2020. Still tonight, ODPEM confirms a 4.5 magnitude earthquake, and NWC urges citizens to adhere to the prohibition order despite the increase in water levels at the 2 major catchment systems in the corporate area. Good evening. As we continue to bring you full coverage of political campaigns, debates, and constituency profiles, join host Nicole Hales in this evening's discussion with political analyst and acting director of institutional research at the Northern Caribbean University, Paul Bourne, as they discuss the highs and lows of the first national debate. We will also be hearing from the People's National Party's candidate for St. James East Central, Michael Hemmings, on his plans for his constituency. Now, our news team went on the street and got the views of persons regarding last night's debate. This is what they had to say.
For the debate last night, I would say JLP won because PMP chose the wrong set of persons to do the debate. Even though JLP never really touched the main point and thing, but they make sense more than PMP. Honestly, that's my opinion still.
So I think Lisa Hanna, for me, would have been the debater of the night. I was particularly impressed with how she delivered her style, her poise, and how she spoke into the set and spoke directly to the Jamaican people. And the fact that she was a late substitute, she did justice to her party. I would give the PMP a slight edge because of the strength of Lisa Hanna. And I think Fly Green did well in parts, but was all over the place.
I think the JLP had won the debate. JLP mainly touched on areas that they have been doing so far, and which it is evident. So overall, I think the JLP did a fair attempt to it and won the debate overall.
Still making Mello TV news, earlier today, the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, confirmed a 98% readiness level for the Special Services General Election on Monday, August 31, and the Civilian General Election on September 3. The ECJ is advising the public that it is confident of managing the upcoming general election, guided by established protocols derived from the World Health Organization's COVID-19 protocols and standards, as well as the outcome of meetings held with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, as well as the Attorney General's office. Now, to ensure the safety of the electorate, the ECJ has established a COVID-19 protocol for conducting national elections that will see the deployment of 7,400 sanitation officers dedicated to keeping the voting process sanitized across the 2,200 polling station locations. Now, the protocols will see the use of mandatory thermometer checks, the wearing of masks, continuous sanitization procedures, social distancing, and the single use of voting pencils by electors. In other news tonight, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, confirmed that an earthquake was felt at 7:20 this morning. ODPEM further reported that the earthquake unit reported a moderate earthquake and the epicenter was 8 kilometers east of Mile Gully, Manchester, with a magnitude of 4.8 and a focal depth of 24 kilometers. Now, there were no reports of injuries or structural damages. In news from the capital, following the closure of businesses in the corporate area due to COVID-19 cases, earlier today, J. Ray and Nephew Limited announced the suspension of its operations of its facility at 234 Spanish Town Road. The company said the temporary closure will be in effect until tomorrow to facilitate deep cleaning and sanitization. Business is scheduled to reopen on Friday at 8 a.m. In news from St. Catherine, the Registrar General's Department, RGD's head office located at Twickenham Park, will undergo a period of deep cleaning and sanitization in effect until tomorrow due to a staff member being exposed to a confirmed positive case of COVID-19. Now, the RGD, in a statement released earlier today, said that the staff member is now in quarantine. The RGD also encouraged customers to utilize their online services at www.rgd.gov.jm. Still making Mello TV news, the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, temporarily closed its corporate office in Twickenham Park, St. Catherine, to facilitate cleaning and sanitization after a staff member was confirmed with COVID-19 and 2 other members displayed flu-like symptoms. Now, the bus company says it is seeking to have each employee tested by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, as well as help them to conduct the necessary contact tracing to mitigate any potential spread. The JUTC is urging commuters to keep on their face masks while on the buses, even as the company steps up sanitization activities to control the spread of COVID-19. In news from St. Thomas, 2 police personnel from the parish are among the latest persons to contract COVID-19. Now, about 100 members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, are in quarantine due to exposure to persons confirmed or suspected of having COVID-19. Now, chairman of the Police Federation, Sergeant Patray Rowe, is among the members now in quarantine. 8 police officers have now tested positive for the virus since the initial outbreak on the island. In news from St. Catherine, the police there are asking members of the public for assistance to locate a motorist involved in a hit-and-run accident that claimed the lives of 2 women and seriously injured a male pedal cyclist along the Spanish Town bypass on Monday. The now deceased 41-year-old Charlene Shand and 51-year-old Maxine Banton, both of Job Lane in Spanish Town, were walking along the roadway when they were mowed down by the driver of a 2010 black Mazda Atenza motor vehicle who did not stop. The motor vehicle was later recovered in Taw's Pen in the parish, but the driver has not been located. Still in St. Catherine, a 58-year-old security guard has been arrested and charged with illegal possession of firearm and illegal possession of ammunition following the seizure of a gun and several rounds of ammunition on West Street in Old Harbour on August 24. He has been identified as David Williams, otherwise called Glenn, and 16 of Leif Avenue. Reports from the police coming into our news center are that at about 7:30 p.m., Williams was seen acting in a suspicious manner that aroused their attention. When approached and searched, a pair of handcuffs was reportedly found in the guard's waistband. A further search of a knapsack that he had on his back allegedly revealed a Browning 9mm pistol and 8 9mm rounds of ammunition. In other news tonight, The National Water Commission, NWC, is urging citizens to adhere to the prohibition order despite the increase in water levels at the two major catchment systems in the corporate area. Corporate Public Relations Manager at the NWC, Andrew Cannon, in a statement said the systems remain far below optimum levels despite the moderate improvements as a result of the torrential rains that have been impacting the island over the last several days. He further stated that customers must still be diligent in their conservation efforts. Mr. Cannon further outlined that under the prohibition order, water must be used for essential purposes only, and a breach of the order can lead to persons being arrested and charged. He added that there isn't an automatic increase in water supply following a period of heavy rainfall due to several factors, including extremely high turbidity. However, Mr. Cannon assured that the NWC work crew is in the process of clearing any turbidity. And those were the stories making news. I am Shelley Ann Hill. We'll now join Nicole Hales with Decision 2020.